Hi everybody, much love, many blessings. So I figured I'm in the mood to do a reading. Apologize for the noise outside the window, doing some work downstairs. The microphones that I have, they're CCC, cheap Chinese crap. So when I use them, they actually distort the sound, like my voice. So I'm not using the microphone today. Who's bothering me right now? Anyway, I thought that I would do a reading on Chris Watts. I hear he's getting married, and we're using the Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza. This is his U.S. game system. Wanted to sell out the U.S. game system so then he could make his own site. He has a really cool site. His cards are really cool. It's just I won't open them if they haven't already been opened. So anyway, so Chris Watts apparently went full Christian about a year ago, and he started talking about Nikki, Nicole Kessinger, and that she had a role to play in the unaliving of Shanann, the unborn baby. I believe his name was Nico, CCM Bella. Okay, that Nicole, darling Nikki, as he called her. He's also claiming that not only was she involved, and we do have pings from cell towers that she was outside the house on the morning of, what was that again? Was it August 13th? In the early morning hours of August 13th, that he unalived his children. He's still somehow standing by the whole, Shanann did it, and then he had to unalive Shanann because she's crazy or whatever. That doesn't, wow, what are you doing out there? That doesn't make any sense, if Dee, oh my goodness, if Cece and Bella were unalived by Shanann, what would be the point of unaliving Shanann? That doesn't make any sense. Chris has also said in letters that he alluded to the fact that he felt that he was like under a spell, that Nikki put him under a spell, that he would never have done this, and that somehow she inserted herself into his life and she caused him to do this. He felt like he was on autopilot, and even though he didn't want to unalive his children and his wife, he couldn't help himself. That sounds scary to me. He could not help himself, and it was Nicole Kessinger, darling Nikki, who was able to put this on him, this whatever you want to. He never says, like spell or anything like that. He just says, like he felt like he wasn't himself. He would have never done something like this. And also, after he was sentenced, Nikki was in the courtroom apparently, and he glanced up and he saw her, and she gave him a look like, "That's right, motherfucker, I got you where I want you," which I don't know. Is she a lunatic? I don't know. Let's find out. So this reading is mostly about Nikki and her involvement. I absolutely believe that she was involved. I believe that she played a lookout for him when he went to dispose of the children and his wife, Shanann. This is a lot of cards. Okay, let's just do this one step at a time. Cards want to speak. They want to be heard. So, okay. So basically, yeah, that's what he was saying. And I have put myself in the Akashic Records, and the one and only time I really asked was to be put in 10 Volunteer Way on June 9th, 2015, and June 10th. And I did see what happened that night. In addition to the facts, I've been following the Gypsy case Dee and Claudinia and Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and how she unalived her mother because, you know, she's got to have her way. And I can't have mommy stay alive if she's not going to do whatever I want. So, but it's kind of the same thing with Nicole Kessinger. She wants what she wants. And I don't even think that I'm getting a really strong message right now. She didn't even really want Chris. She wanted attention. She wanted, she wanted a man to give her attention and to kind of like worship her and be her everything. But she didn't act that way towards him. He says so in the letter. So let's see what we got. Ooh, we got Ace of Cups here in the shadows. Right, so I'm going to say this has to do with, this is also a shadow deck, but if I want to do non-shadow work, I have the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance on hand. So basically, yeah, so in the shadows is the Ace of Cups, which is usually a big gift from the heavens, from God. And I guess in a way, this could be the marriage. I do even believe that the woman who is marrying Chris is... she looks as if she's black, but I can't really tell. And by the way, I've never seen a black person in my life. She would be brown. So, but yeah, this is in his near future. So looks like that marriage is going to go through, and it's like, okay, fine, there's no conjugal visits, but this is more about Nikki. So let's see. We have the 6, just 6 of Swords. So she's really not gonna, or she might be fooled into thinking that she is moving away from Chris Watts, or she has moved away from him emotionally, physically, the whole thing, and she thinks she's moving into calmer waters. Especially, I'm hearing now that he's getting married, that she has nothing, she didn't want anything to do with him once he was behind bars. That's odd. I believe that she would call Shanann and, you know, say that Nikki was going to give him his first son, not Shanann. So why would she care to move away from him, or to help him get caught, or to maybe put the idea in his head? I can't say. I don't know if she put the idea in his head. I think, well, that's what he's implying that she did. He was not himself. Oh, look at this. We have the 2 of Cups. Absolutely. You know, yes, him and Nikki had it going on, and Nikki wasn't taking no for an answer. She got one who did this. Like, it's like, I don't know how to fish, but I'm going to try. Who is this thing? Hello, Chris Watts. I'm going to use you next. Yeah, so but on his part, even, look, death. Death is there, you know, and even though she has her hand out, yes, Nikki was saying that she wants to give, she would call Shanann and tell her things like that. She's going to be the one to give Chris his first child, not Shanann. Like, how could she say that with certainty if Shanann was already pregnant with Nico, which I believe was a boy? So, yeah, like, she's just using her feminine wiles. But oh, look at all the blue, the BLOD at her feet. Yeah, she absolutely had something to do with this loving cup between her and Chris. She told him it would be a better relationship. She told him it would be a smoother relationship. She made him believe that he didn't have to be on camera for Shanann's, like, look at my family thing, whatever. Whether you like Shanann or not is irrelevant. What's important is that a woman who was pregnant did not need to be killed, nor those poor little children, and then shoved in an 8-inch hole. How? There's still gnats around. Sorry, I don't know where they're coming from. I got rid of most of them. I got my vinegar traps around. Then we have the 8 of Cups, and you see again, this is, I'm gonna say this is Nikki again, and the 8 of Cups is she doesn't want to look at reality. You know, normally it's walking away from everything to find peace and harmony and spirituality, but not in her case. In her case, look at her in the red dress symbolizing lust, and again BLOD and blood, BLOD shed, Look at her feet tiptoeing away. Look at the red nail polish. I don't know if you could see that, but on her feet, she knows what she's doing. She doesn't want to hear anything spiritual right now. She doesn't want to deal with, no, she wants her way. And her way is the right way or the highway. And that's the way it's going to go. And that's the way it is, especially when it's a witch. Oh, by the way, this is, yeah, the Eight of Cups. Sorry. I was going to say something else. So, sorry. So then we have 6. Oh, my goodness. The 6 of Pentacles. So between Chris and Nikki, there was a lot of give and take. Although I'm going to say there was a lot of taking on Nicole's part. But you see, she's the one who's doling out to Chris the favors. I hate to say it, like, you know, he's not as bad as people think. Yeah, he is. But Nikki started out giving him things, like promising him a child. Like, she never, in the letter, he said that she never told him her likes or dislikes. She just would talk to him as if she had known him forever, and she didn't need to ask those kinds of questions. And she just like sucked him in. And I don't know exactly what she had other than, you know, schmecks. But right here, it's like, yeah, she'll give him a pittance, one thing at a time. Again, with the red, I'm going to say that anything in red is Nicole. And it symbolizes the BLOD. And here's Chris, you know, trying to keep above water. And he can't, because he's cheating on Shanann, and he's somewhere in the back of his mind, he's thinking about, you know, unaliving her and his unborn child and his children. This is horrible. I just got really bad chills. So she gave him, or promised him, stability. But you see all the hands behind this? Nikki had another friend, I think his name was Jim, and he was somehow involved with her. And anytime the police or the detectives wanted to ask her about him, she would say, keep him out of this. And she would run the interview. You can go see it yourself. The interrogation interview. And I think it's called Psychology and Crime Channel. But you can just look it up. It's out there. And so she had also other people helping her to get away from falling into this pit with Chris Watts. She would give him just enough to get him, you know, just above water. I'm getting a message that he would have unalived himself if she wasn't around, and he did that to the children and to Shanann. But no, Nikki gave him a pittance, and she had many hands be part of this. And they're all in the back here. Chris can't see them. I'm hearing she's a whore. Oh my gosh, it's a horrible thing to say, but that's what I'm hearing, that she's like some weirdo whore of some sort. I don't know. Then we have the Queen of Swords. So I'm getting the message right now that, like, this is the woman coming into his life. She's honest with him. She feels that she can be honest with him. She feels like she knows the truth. She knows everything about Chris. And this is why they would get married. Even though there's no conjugal visits, it's like she's happy to just be the Queen of Swords. She is the coldest of all the queens. She is the one who metes out justice. She is the one who tells the truth. She is the one that illuminates dark and murky situations with the truth. And this woman is going to bring Chris more, I'm not going to say peace of mind, but with her speaking truth to him all the time. And she's not deluded by love. She's not like all gaga in love with him. She's been very firm about not saying how they met. She's very hardcore boundaries, and that tracks with this. That makes sense with this card. I don't know. You don't have to be a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini we have 11 other houses. So this woman that he's with, and also Nikki, back to Nikki, she didn't tell the truth, but she pretended to tell the truth. There's that red again, thinking she's some sort of royalty because she's gonna, you know, have control over Chris. So we have the 8 of Wands. So what is the 8 of Wands about? Something is happening quickly. And again, we've got the moon here. So I'm going to say again that, like, just like with Ryan, things are going to be illuminated with the next full moon, and Nikki, people might start to listen more about what's going on with her. We're all, I don't know about you, but I'm sick of Gypsy. I'm sick of reading about her. I mean, Ryan's gone, forget it. Ken has disappeared, good. I predicted that in January. And Gypsy's just holding on by the skin of her fake teeth. So, yeah, it's that this person, Nikki's been questioned and stuff. She's battle hardened. She's ready if they come after her about Chris. However, she looks like she could use a little more footing there, because she looks like she just might slip and fall. I'm hearing that Chris Watts's new wife is going to be the one to speak up and out against Nikki. People will take her a little more seriously than they will Chris, even though she's marrying a convicted murderer of children and his wife and her unborn child. But still, she's not the one who committed those acts. People will listen to her, and Nicole better get ready, because she's been through this battle. You know, she's been questioned. She's been working with the detectives, and so, but this something is, she can't even see what it is. It could be herself, it could be her own state of mind, because something's not right with her mind. For real. Oh my goodness. Yeah, justice is definitely coming for Nikki, because then we have the King of Swords. So we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. So all is being put to right. That's what I'm hearing. Also, this is, I don't know what Chris's birthday is. Like I said, we're not just what our sun sign is, or even the 3 top signs are that we are. We have other houses to consider. However, other planets to consider in our charts. But like, this could also be, like I said, the new woman and Chris. Chris claims he's telling the truth, that he went full Christian. And he's not like he's going to get back at Nikki. He just wants to tell the truth. He wants the truth out there. So this could be Chris, but it could also be the law. And Nikki can't get away from it this time. It's the kingdom. The kingdom of the King and Queen of Swords is saying, no, Nikki, we don't actually believe you. It's time for you to step forward and tell us the truth. Because you see our swords of truth and clarity here, yet they're for you. We're going to use them on you, type of thing. And this will ultimately liberate Chris emotionally, spiritually, mentally. He won't have to, he has recurring thoughts about her and why he did that night, and how he wished he didn't, and that he feels that he was swayed. He never uses the word like that she put a spell on him or something like that, but that's, you know, he's, the way he's speaking, that's what it sounds like, is that I put a spell on you because you're mine. But once that truth comes out, this truth is going to unify Chris and whoever this woman is that he's marrying. It's both Nikki and the woman that he's marrying. And so both ways, justice will be, the truth will get out, justice will be served, and he can let go of all his issues that have been plaguing his mind and keeping him up at night. And we did the Ace of Cups, right? So yeah, like once that truth comes out and we finally listen to him and stop accusing him. I mean, I put a video up about Ryan because I think it's wrong that children should be abused. And you know, I got people calling me names and attacking me. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Do you support, you know, PDFs? Do you? My favorite thing to say is, what is it again? Oh yeah, I bet if you were in the crowd that day, you would have yelled for Barabbas. How could you defend a child abuser? How could you do that with Ryan? So I'm saying it again. And there is nothing like that going on. It's just in the shadows is, I believe this is his wife, which is mirrored by the Queen of Swords. I wouldn't be surprised if she was an air sign or that plays prominently in her chart, but again, that's not necessary. But Nikki's scared a lot, you know, and she's battle ready, or she thinks she is, but she's not. She's got secrets. That's actually what makes her in the shadows valuable, because she has the secret. She knows the truth. It's just that Chris doesn't care anymore. He cares more about the truth, not about what Nikki has to say so much, although he'd like her to tell the truth. So, okay, so my favorite oracle cards, Journey. They're just like, I don't know, they're really, even though they're cheap Chinese crap, CCC, I love these cards. By the way, everything I say is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And speculative purposes only. So, what more can you tell us about Chris Watson? Look at these cards, they're so pretty. The back. Wait till you see what the front looks like, you know? What these images look like. So, what else can we know, or what else can we be told about this situation with Nikki and Cece and Bella and Shanann? Ooh, I'm feeling that Shanann doesn't want to fully cross over. She's like, what? She's close to the earth plane. I feel her energy right now. And she's like, I'm gonna get that motherfucking bitch. Sorry, that's just the way she's just like, oh, really? Like, not the new wife, the Nikki. She's like, I'm coming for her. I don't know. Like, she can't do much. Maybe she's haunting her. Maybe she does things in the house. I also hear the children laughing, but also crying. I don't want to hear that. Please take that away. Take it away. It's energy, right? Get this out of my head and take that away. Not to you. Not to you. It just is. It's not your energy. It's the energy's not coming to you. It came to me, and I just got rid of it. That's all. So, what else can we know about Nikki? She's gonna be. I really am hearing it's Chris's when he's married. This woman is going to be relentless in trying to show what her involvement is, and that she will probably, if it's permissible, at least be looked into, or I'm hearing a documentary or a new film to come out where she would figure prominently and not Chris. It would be more about her. So, let's see. Oh, my fingers just touched a bunch of cards. So, I hate when that happens. Okay, let's see the first one. Application. Yeah. So, there's a lot of applications for Chris to get married, and this person is just closed their eyes and refused to see. And that would be Nikki as well, but what about her? And also let me look up application right now, because that could mean many things. So let's see, what number is this? 23. So application means, which is 5, which is changed by the way. The application card presents the image of a diligent architect hunched over a drafting table. No, it doesn't, but whatever. Meticulously drawing plans and blueprints. This symbolic scene speaks to the pivotal phase after our journeys of profound self-discovery and integration, where we are called to channel our expanded wisdom, skills, and essence into the purposeful co-creator of our outer realities. Like the architect translating vision into tangible form, we are invited to artfully construct the physical structures that will uphold and express our new architectures of being. So this speaks to Chris's new marriage, but it's also about Nikki really growing in her own direction and her own life. So she doesn't want anything more. It's like she was like a homewrecker, but she went full lunatic, full psycho, and had them unalived. So that's what she wanted. She wanted for her application, she wanted to be the mastermind behind this. She told Chris pretty much what to do, and she's never gonna admit to that, but that's the case. Oh, we just got this for Ryan. And the road, it just hit the long and winding road to your door, Da, 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 the Beatles, their last album before they broke up. And Nikki, she's inside, even though this is a male figure, she's all alone. She's taking all these steps to make her life better, but she's all alone up here, you know? Yeah, the moon is just illuminating things, and we will get to see who she really is coming around. She doesn't even care about this tree. She doesn't care about nature. She doesn't care about anything really other than herself. She likes like appearing that she's independent and she doesn't need anybody. And yeah, it's a long and winding road that she's been on with Chris Watts, and now he wants her to be held accountable for her role in this, in the unaliving of his family, his children, and Shanann. So yeah, it's been a long road, a long time, and we still care. Okay, and then we have here finally, oh, apotheosis, right? 37, which is 10, which is 1. So again, I don't exactly know what apotheosis means, but this is number 37, so let's go read it out of the book. Apotheosis card depicts a sublime image of a human figure dissolving into radiant beams of light, symbolizing the sacred process of transcending the mortal form and merging into the boundless expanse of the divine. This breathtaking scene speaks to the ultimate journey of spiritual evolution, where the limitations of the physical and the egoic self are shed to reunite with the ineffable essence that permeates all of existence. Right. So Chris is telling the truth about Nikki. He's turned from his whatever he was before, would cause him to do that to Shanann and the children, but he is merging with the divine. He is co-creating with the creator. He is in alignment and flow, and seeing nobody trust him, and even I still call him a monster, but ultimately he is transforming. He did go full Christian, and even in his case, you know, it's been a long road. It's only in the last year that he became this way, and it's actually Nikki who made the plans, not him, outside. And then after that, it was just, he was presented, you know, with like this journey, this path that he could go on. Or actually Nikki, like I said, Nikki's going through this long road. She's not even worried about what's going on today with this case, because she thinks she's untouchable. She's all the way over here. Really, those stairs still exist. I'm pretty sure I could climb them, and if I could climb them, then I'm sure the police or detectives could as well. So she could be reinvestigated, but this one is all about Chris. He is telling the truth about her involvement. He is telling the truth about everything he says. He has gone full Christian, and so we can take him at his word, I suppose, because that's what the truth is. So, or the truth is what he's saying, because the truth is because he's being honest. We don't like to believe that, you know, but that's the message, you know. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. So I'll be looking more into like the videos of Nikki being interviewed, and I am looking at I believe it's Lindsay, Clancy, and Patrick, her husband. Those poor children, you know, and if she's gonna go for the criminally insane defense, then she'll be locked up for the rest of her life, worse than prison. So I don't know if that's a wise move on her part, but if that's the reason, then that's what's gonna happen to her, and there's nothing we can do about that, you know. So either way, I believe that she's gonna see justice meted out to her. People do not like to see children be abused, except for all of you out there who made fun of me and called me names because I called the state of Louisiana about sex crimes against children, and one of those PDFs being Ryan Anderson. They say that he was fired from being a kindergarten teacher for special needs children because he married Gypsy. That's BS. He came out with his own video about it where he said no, he was late to school all the time. I guarantee you Gypsy kept him in bed on purpose. You know, she knew she wasn't going to stay with him. Lifetime is calling while she was in jail. You can go look at the FOIAs yourself. You can watch the FOIAs. You can listen. You can read them yourself. I'm done defending myself. Like I said, if you were in the crowd that day, if you think that it's okay to defend a PDF like Ryan Anderson or any of those people that Gypsy was hanging around, then, sorry, my nose is a little itchy. No, I'm not on anything. Some people think I'm high. I'm not high at all. I'm 28 years sober, and I'm very calm about things these days, so maybe that's why I sound high, but I'm not on anything. So what I'm not getting is enough sleep. I didn't sleep last night. But yeah, so it's, you know, if you like to defend the PDF, then also, besides saying that, you know, you probably have shouted Barabbas, also I do sincerely hope that you, any of you that made fun of me, no one laughed at me. No one laughed at me. No one asked me names. They asked what was the issue, and I told them, and they said, oh, this involves a high-profile person. And I said, yeah, I guess if you consider Gypsy Rose. And he said, so the guy said, yeah, I want to go take it to a higher agency. And yes, I would have to know all the little details. And I don't know how to get that agency, the phone call that Ryan did with Gypsy, where he talked about what that 4-year-old kid did with him. But also that was over a decade ago. So that child is probably grown by now. And so no one but that child, now an adult, can bring charges against Ryan if they want to. There is no statute of limitations for child abuse. So I'm guessing that the only way that any justice could be brought regarding that specific incident that he described to Gypsy in great detail, that child is the only one who can come forward. Any children that were at his school that he might have done this to, also, they could, if they're older now. I believe he was only fired 2 years ago. I can just see Gypsy right now, like, constantly keeping him in bed and away from his responsibilities, because this girl has no concept of going to work and being accountable and making money. And how is, you know, Ryan going to pay for all her, you know, wigs and dresses and clothing and her expensive tastes, as if she deserves that? You know, like, I gotta struggle just to get my nails done at the salon, even though I have my own. Here it's such a mess before I find out if I'm moving. Everything's packed away in boxes. So basically, yeah, it's like she had a role in that. She thinks that's funny. It's not funny at all. So, okay, so that's the reading on Chris Watts. For now, we can revisit him again, and then I have to catch up a little bit more on Lindsay and Patrick Clancy, because I will not speak about something I don't know. If anyone wants to leave comments for me to give me information about them on YT, it's down here. On TikTok, it's right over here. I love reading all your comments, even the trolls out there who say I don't have a life. Trust me, I have a life. I love my life. I love myself. I love life. I love my life. I just told you I've been sober 28 years. So yeah, life is pretty damn good when you're sober. And my every thought 28 years ago, or before I literally like shambled into a meeting, was I wanted to die. I couldn't stand being an addict anymore. I never wanted to be that way, but I had some guy who I thought I was in love with. I was engaged to. He grew me. I found out he did it to his 2 previous fiancés. I was his 3rd fiancé, and he did it after me too, you know. So don't think I'm so nice either. You know, I had to hold a gun in his ribs because he tried to kill me one night, and so my only recourse was to nearly shoot him. I would have, if it would have sent him in jail forever, but I'm pretty sure he got my message, which was stay the hell away from me. I don't exist. And I don't mean like you see me and you're like, oh, hi, I didn't know you. No, you see me, you look right through me, or I will pull this trigger right now. And then he starts screaming, oh my God, you have a gun. And I'm like, I put it in my bag, like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's doing drugs again. Okay, Gypsy. Okay, Ryan. Of course I wasn't going to pull the trigger. I'm not going to jail forever, but no, this guy sat on my chest and put a pillow over my face. and I was taking my last breath. So I'm fine today. I got a program, and there's a step for every issue I have, and there's also my interpretation of a higher power that works for me. So I've said enough about myself, and we're going on 34 minutes, and I'm always going to add an intro and an outro, except for on TT, you don't need the intro and outro, really. So I'm going to get this up as soon as possible. And again, please, also in the comments, not just your thoughts about Chris Watts and him getting married and Shanann and the girls, which we all know is horrible, it's terrible, I don't want to, it's awful, I can hear them screaming. Okay, much love, many blessings, positive energy, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.